This show here, it's about 8 minutes here, 1:15. We're going to be focusing on how and why it is that we train our animals. We're focusing on telling apart seals from sea lions. We have two species, California sea lions and harbor seals. They look somewhat similar, they're somewhat related, but they're very different animals, and we're going to learn how to tell these guys apart. We're also going to focus on their conservation. That's how they got in the ocean and what you guys can do to help out. I'll introduce these animals first, and we'll go ahead and take any questions you guys may have. Our youngest and newest sea lion is King. He just turned 5. Above him is Harper. He just turned 12. Above him is Parker. He just had his birthday. He's now 16. He's our biggest boy. He's our male intact bull. So he's the biggest boy out there. Sea lions always have their birthdays in June, so you have a lot of birthdays back to back to back to back here. Then we have our two seals. We have our youngest on display is Shelby. She's 22. We have Ellie, who is 29, and our oldest marine mammal here. She's actually pretty old for a seal, so we're pretty happy to have her here. You also see, well, her pup is also here. I can't guarantee you're going to see her in there. When the show ends, you can feel free to take a look. You want to try and find her. But she's pretty well hidden in there. There, right there, that's Shelby. Shelby's a lot darker. She's actually a Pacific harbor seal. Whereas Ellie, our smaller one, is actually a lot lighter in color. She is an Atlantic harbor seal. Now, since we got time here before we get started, this is a wonderful opportunity. You guys have any questions at all about our seals and sea lions? Any seal or sea lion questions at all? No, you're all experts. You all know everything there is to know about seals and sea lions. That's impressive. Congratulations. Shelby had the pup. She's right there. Actually, Ellie just popped up right in front of her and then went back down. Every time she knows we're talking about her, she goes back down. But the big one, that's Shelby. That's the one who had the pup. Pup is somewhere in there.
Oh, a pup is somewhere in there.
How many pups per day every day? It varies by animal, and it varies by season, and it varies by species. Parker is eating 15.2 kilos right now, which is a little over 30 pounds. Depending on the time of year, because they will gain and lose 200 pounds on a regular basis, it may be up to 50 or as low as, 25 to 30. Now, of course, the younger one, or sorry, the smaller ones like our seals, you're looking at maybe closer to 10, not even 10 kilos, maybe like 5 to 8 kilos. Seals are a lot smaller, don't need a lot. Even Harpo, who's our younger male, doesn't need a lot because he's not near as big as Parker is. You got a question? Go ahead. What do they eat? That's a good question. Well, restaurant quality, sustainably certified fish and squid. Two types of fish. You got your capelin and your herring, and of course your squid. And they do like some good old-fashioned jello as well. Question? Yeah, go ahead. We have 3 sea lions and 2 seals. Oh, go ahead, up on top. We have 3 sea lions and 2 seals, plus the pup. Was I saw another hand over here? No? We're all good? Oh, one on top. How many hours a day are they outside? All day, every day. These are wild animals. They don't have an inside. In the water, they don't really have to have they don't have a have to. I see them normally find out on the beach, maybe like towards the evening when they sleep, but they can technically be in the water for days on end if they needed to, especially with seals. But every so often you come out in the evening time, you'll see them kind of hauled out on the beach, getting up that sun, kind of dozing off a little bit. They can also sleep in the water too, so there really isn't a set time frame. It's really up to the animal's preference. We'll take one more right here, nice and loud. We'll take 2 more right here, nice and loud first. You forgot? That's okay. Right here. How many sharks? Like species or like total number? Like how many kinds or how many altogether? How many altogether? I'd ballpark it like maybe like 120 or something, because we got a heck of a lot of bamboo sharks. And you got your zebra, your bonnet heads, your sand tigers, you got your black tip, your white tip.
Sand tigers? I never heard one of those before.
I'll take one more hand over here. But yeah, there you go, right there. Ooh, you know why? Because they know it's lunchtime. All right, I fibbed. I'll take one more question, I gotta stop, okay? Right here, real fast. What's the difference between a seal and sea lion? That's like half my job, half my show, and I need job security. So we're gonna hold off on that, but by the end of this, y'all gonna know. I can't have you leaving, that looked bad on me. You will all be experts on seal versus sea lion by the end of my show. That being said though, there's a few things I want to address before we get started. So we're talking about how and why we train them. We're talking about telling them apart. And we're also talking about a thing called conservation. And y'all ever heard that term before? One person has. Good job. Congratulations. Conservation. That's what people do to help animals out. So for example, as we'll learn, California sea lions, they're doing great right now. Several 100,000 along California coast. But that wasn't always the case. A couple decades ago, people used to hunt these for fur and for meat. So much so that before we protected them, there were just a few thousand left on the whole planet Earth. But because conservation stepped in, 1972 Marine Protection Act, it's not even legal to approach these guys. Actually, if you get near these guys on your own accord, that's a federal offense. You're breaking federal law to approach these guys. Because of protections like that, and because people are becoming a little bit more conscious of their seafood diets, these guys have made a great comeback thanks to conservation. Go ahead and put your hands down, I promise. If you have any other questions, I'll get to them at the end. We're going to focus on conservation of another animal here. Now I know that this is not a seal, it's not a sea lion. I wouldn't even make a raise your hand. Anyone know? Just shout out. What is this? Okay, I heard porpoise. Good job. Yeah. This is a porpoise called the vaquita. Vaquita, by the way, means little cow in Spanish because look how cute that face is. Kirsten, why talk about a porpoise during your seal and sea lion show? That's a good question. Thanks for asking. Let me answer that. One, it's the world's smallest porpoise. This is life size. Right here. That's how big they get. Two, it's fairly local. Everyone say, by the way, hi to Shelby, hi to Ellie over there. That's our old lady. She never comes up, so I just have to point her out real fast.
Oh, there she is.
Number two, it's fairly local. 6 or 7 hour drive south. That's the only place in the world they're found, right? The Seal Cortez, Gulf of California. But the main reason I'm talking about this thing right here, this is a picture of the world's most endangered marine mammal on the whole planet. There are less of these than like a fifth, you guys in my audience. In fact, we think there could be as few as 20 or less. The only thing affecting them is humans. No one's targeting them, no one's hunting them, but people love seafood, and sometimes the seafood we eat isn't caught in the best way. It's what we call unsustainable. These nets set for shrimp also accidentally catch these guys and end up drowning in those nets. That's the only thing affecting those guys, just those nets. Luckily for us, although we think they could go extinct as early as this year or next year without our help, we have hope because there are things that are being done to help out, things that you guys can do to help out, and I'm going to teach you guys all about those at the end of my show. So remember that while we have our fun show here, Vaquita. I even have a couple catchphrases to help you remember that name. You can think of Chiquita Vaquita, Viva Vaquita, right? I know you guys remember it. All right. Whew. Like 30 seconds here till our mammal stuff comes out. I will take a few more questions because I have a little bit more time. I know I saw a hand over here. She's not looking at me, that's okay. Hand over here in the black shirt. So remember, we're going to learn how to tell sea lions and seals apart during our show. But you will be experts, I promise. Any other questions? Up and down, go ahead.
Why they jump so high?
Why they jump so high? Because they're just so happy. But here comes our mammal staff. Go and give these guys a huge round of applause. Now you're going to give them a few minutes here. You're going to see they're actually going to situate themselves with one particular animal they're going to be working with today. Once they are good to go, looks like we're speaking with Jeff today. Once they're good to go, we're going to pass the microphone over to our mammal staff. As a reminder, please stay seated for the entire duration of our show. Any other questions can find me at the end of the show, and we'll go in, we'll get our mammal staff on the job here.
All right, well, good afternoon and welcome everybody to our Seal and Sea Lion exhibit here at Aquarium of the Pacific. My name is Jeff, and joining me here is my buddy Harpo. You want to blow everybody kiss? There we go. Harpo is one of our 3 California sea lions we currently have here on our exhibit. We also have Kane, who's hanging out with Megan next to us. He's our youngest of our sea lions and our newest addition. And we also have our big guy Parker over there. He's kind of hanging out with Aaron. We'll see how he does. He's going through what's called rut this time of year. That's when out in the wild, these guys would probably spend most of their time, the males spend most of the time on the beaches protecting their territory and their group of females. They're also usually molting and are also at their highest weight level, so they're not really super motivated. So Parker's kind of doing that. So we kind of let him do whatever he wants. He kind of, if he wants to participate or if he doesn't, that's completely up to him. But we'll kind of work around that as well. Now we also have two of our harbor seals. You see Ellie, she's swimming around over in front there. She's going to be coming across the front of that window. And we also have Shelby, who is probably swimming around the back right now. She might be swimming around somewhere in the front as well. You'll be seeing them a little bit more in the back. So what I'm going to do though is talk a little bit about some of the different types of training we can do with these guys. And we actually will break our training down to 3 different categories. And the first type of training we can do is our most important type, is what we call our husbandry behaviors, and these are the different things we can do that allow us to take care of them. So as Harpo's hanging out here with me, I can use this opportunity to check him out from head to tail, making sure that everything's looking good. So I can start with his face, looking at things like his eyes, and one of the things we've trained these guys to do is allow us to give them eye drops, so he's really good at letting us set up for that. I can have him do things like opening up his mouth, checking out his teeth and his tongue, making sure those things are looking good. Our harbor seals, we actually go through and brush their teeth every single day. They're very similar to your dogs at home. Sea lions, on the other hand, they have specialized bacteria in their mouth to help keep their mouths clean, and we don't want to remove that, so we don't brush their teeth. Now I can also have him do things like presenting his flippers, checking out the tops and bottoms of those, making sure those are good. We can have these guys do things like layouts where they can lie down. We can check over their bodies or have them roll over and check their bellies. All these are some different ways that we can keep on top of their health. Now we also do have a veterinarian here on staff, and he comes up and checks these guys whenever he needs to, including their annual exams. But it is nice to be able to do a lot of these different types of behaviors every single day. Now a second type of training we can do is physical exercise. So giving these guys some things to do to kind of work their bodies a little bit. So we can do a variety of things in the water. You might have seen Harpo doing his porpoising in the very beginning. We may see a little bit more of that a little bit later on. But on land here, sea lions especially are very agile. You saw how easy it was to climb up on those rocks. But we can also do some different things on land. Harpo likes dancing. So he's really good at being able to use those flippers to get himself moved around. Those flippers are also really strong and they can balance their body.